Hey guys, I got a couple of inquiries regarding the chicken coop and what I got going on here, so I figured this would be a good time to do a tour. So one of the first questions were if I built the coop or if I bought it as a kit. I think now that you could see the whole coop, you could see that it was all built. I wasn't working off of any plans, but I had a few pictures of other coops that I liked that I wanted to mimic. I started with building this 8x4 coop and elevated off the ground approximately 30 inches. This way the chickens could have a place to seek safety when it rains or snows. I then did this offshoot of a run that I also roofed in the same manner that I did the coop, again so that this way they could have safety from rain and snow, but still be outside. On this side of the coop, I put two doors that lead to two nesting boxes each, and then I put a vent up here. You can see on the vent I put heavy gauge chicken wire so that this way nothing can get in. And then if you open up the nesting boxes, you see you can reach in there and grab the eggs. We got one girl in there laying now. And if you take a look at the other nesting box, it leads inside. After I built the original coop and the run, I came across somebody on Craigslist that was getting rid of some chickens for free, so I took them. But I quickly realized that there were too many in a small space. So also on Craigslist, I came across this dog run that I mounted onto 4x4s that were cemented into the ground, and gave them an extension of their run. So if you take a look, they have that covered run over there, then underneath the coop that they can go, and then they have this whole open area. One day after we built it, we had seen what I perceived to be a hawk flying around the top. The chickens were going crazy, so we took some heavy gauge chicken wire and covered the top of it as well. In order to protect the chickens from raccoons and whatnot digging underneath the coop, I put these stumps and rocks around the perimeter, which they actually like. They climb up on them and roost on a couple of branches. I also made this chicken swing out of a play set that we were getting rid of, and they go up there as well. I have an old tire back there that I fill up with food grade DE, ash and dirt, and they go in there as a dust bath. Then a buddy of mine was getting rid of this rabbit hutch, so we took it in. Sometimes when some of the chickens are getting aggressive, I keep them in there. We built this little ramp that leads up to a branch, so there's plenty of places for them to roost and hang out. One of the other questions we got is, how many chickens do we have? We have 14. We started off with 4, and then as I said, somebody on Craigslist was getting rid of a few chickens, so we ended up taking them. There were a couple of roosters in there that we had to get rid of, but right now we have 14 chickens. Now on the inside of the coop, we have this water heater, so that this way we don't have to continually change the water during the winter months. It's pretty cool because what it does is it heats the water when it gets temperatures get below freezing, so it has a thermostat in there that kicks on and off. It doesn't heat the water where it gets hot, it just heats it enough that it doesn't freeze. And if you take a look in here, we originally established one roost that connected to the nesting boxes, but again, when we got the extra chickens, we threw another roost up top, which actually worked out well because it seems like the majority of the chickens want to get up there. My understanding is that they like to roost high as it gives them a sense of security. Another thing we did was we installed a light inside the coop on a timer, and what happens is come dusk, the timer goes on, the light goes on, which draws the chickens inside to the coop. And then one of my favorite parts was I built this automatic chicken door. I took a linear actuator and set it up on a timer with a double pole, double throw relay. So come 6 o'clock in the morning, the door opens automatically, and then come 9:30 at night, it shuts automatically. Prior to installing this, every night I'd have to come out and shut the door and make sure all the chickens were rallied. This system's working out very well in that the light draws them in and then the door shuts. Occasionally one chicken won't make it in at a time, and they'll just stay in the run all night. Fortunately, we haven't had any situations with predators coming in and harming them. So I get another question of if we've named our chickens. We started naming them when we had 4. It was pretty easy, but once we got 14, it was hard to differentiate who was who, so we stopped naming them. But in the beginning stages, we wanted to name them after country singers. So some of the names that we had come up with was Darius Clucker and Rodney Edkins. In the covered run, we built a ramp so this way the chickens can get in and out easily. We have 3 separate roosts here, which they like to hang out at. Originally, I had the food container closer to the house so that this way any rain that was driving through the sides wouldn't affect the food. But the novelty of climbing in this low space and filling it up on a regular basis wore thin pretty quick. So just recently I moved the chain closer to the gate, and on this side you'll see once again it's a modified dog run that was free on Craigslist, so that all I have to do is reach in and fill it, and I fill it about every 3 days. Just to decorate the inside of the coop, I made this sign. Last one in's a rotten egg. Gave it an old weathered finish, which came out real nice. I was pretty happy with that. My last name is Ibrahim, so we ended up naming our coop the Ibrahim and Eggs Chicken Ranch, which was pretty cool. We actually have labels made up for the cartons of eggs we give out to friends and family that have the same logo and the name of our coop on there. The last question that I had gotten emailed this week was what we feed the chickens. We feed them egg producer chicken feed. That's I think made by Purina. Goes about $15 a bag. We go through about 3 bags every 5 weeks. In addition to that, we give them any and all vegetable scraps, as well as anything that's left over from dinner. They'll eat steak, ham, chicken. We give them the chicken shells, the egg shells, which increases their calcium intake, so that this way the eggs don't crack as easy. But yeah, this has been a pretty fun venture, building the coop and taking care of the chickens. I find it to be very therapeutic. It cost me about, oh, that was another question, how much it cost me to build the coop. Most of the stuff I got off of Craigslist for free, like the 2 dog runs and the windows I took out of a house I was renovating. Total materials were maybe 600 bucks. The roofing shingles I took off another job, they were leftovers. Fortunately, I didn't need too much, so I didn't have to buy any extra ones. So if you have any more questions, shoot me an email or comment to this video, and I'll make sure to answer immediately. Have a good day.